Welcome to Masterful Games, where we challenge your mind to test your beliefs by shedding light on myths that prevent us from becoming masterful. Join us for some laughs as we learn how to own our inner peace and outer purpose. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the very first installment of Masterful Games. I'm your host, Judy Porter, and I'm honored to take you to a place where laughter flows, and what will happen next, honestly, nobody really knows. The knowledge possessed by the women on this panel is vast and deep. What a great day to be a contestant. To determine who goes first today, Erin and Catherine virtually arm wrestled, and though it was a tough battle, Erin came out on top, so she's going to go first. Let the game begin, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Panelists, please hold up your placards. And Erin, who would you like to select first?
I am going to select Linda for number 5, please.
All right, Linda for number 5. More education and experience are what you need to be successful. Is that true or false?
Absolutely, because in this competitive world, you really need to have as much experience and credentials as you can under your belt, because that's what people look to. And the more you have, the better you will do. It's been proven throughout history. And so wherever you're feeling kind of insecure, like you need a little extra, something, I encourage you to go for it. Go get that degree, go get that credential, go get that knowledge.
Okay, so Erin, she says this statement is true. Do you agree or disagree?
I was going to say disagree at first, because sometimes getting experience is putting yourself out there, and you might not have the experience to put yourself out there yet. And so you might just need to get the ball rolling. But then I also really agree that if there's something that you feel you need in order to have the confidence, then go for it. I agree with that. So I don't really know if I want to, what do I say? Can I say I'm on the fence, or do I have to pick one?
You one or the other.
All right, I'm going to say agree on the basis of go with your gut. If it's something you feel is going to help you, absolutely do it.
I'm going to say,
I might should have trusted my gut.
Your gut was right, because this society is so caught up in, I need this, this, and this, and this, and I can't move forward until I have that. And if you know your design, your innate design, you have a blueprint for your own success. So thank you for sharing, world, telling me where I'm insecure and don't have enough of whatever. I know my right path. So actually, Erin, you really did know the answer. It was just kind of
you sold it well, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So
all right. Back to you, Judy.
Well done.
Excellent. Okay, Catherine, panelists, please hold up your placards. And Catherine, pick your panelist and your myth number.
I'm going to go with Chris for number 2, please.
All right, Chris for number 2. Your success depends more upon your emotional intelligence than your intelligence, skills, knowledge, education, and all other factors combined. Is this true or false, Chris?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to have to say that's true. I recently read an article that said that emotional intelligence accounts for 58% of the attributes that make somebody a high performer. It outweighs intelligence and all of the other things. It's more than half of what determines if somebody is able to set a goal and perform really well in their own path. Yeah, so I'm going to say that's true.
Okay, Catherine, do you agree or disagree?
Oh man, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. So I was going to say agree, and then you kept listing off all these other attributes, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, can it really be that much more important than all these other things combined? So then I started doubting myself. But I'm going to go with my initial hit, which is agree that emotional intelligence is more important than all the other attributes.
Yay! Yeah, yeah, it absolutely is. Then all the other attributes combined. And so you just kind of imagine, well, wow, why aren't we teaching that into everyone? Right? Yeah.
All right,
Well done. Well
All right,
done.
thank you.
back to Erin. Panelists, please hold up your placards. Make sure you're marking off.
Oh,
Come on, Chris.
oops. Be right back.
All right, I'm gonna go with Jane 4, please.
All right,
Right.
Jane. Jane for number 4. People can always find the money if they want to, so make sure you let them know that. Is this true or false?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all know when we really, really want to do something, we find the time, we find the money. If your kid needed a $10,000 whatever because they landed in the hospital, you'd find that. So why can't you find that to invest in yourself? I mean, it's a pretty, cut and dry situation.
All right. Erin, what do you think about that?
I
You
agree with that. I mean, like, manifest, right? We can do it if we have to. So absolutely.
All right, Jane.
It's actually false.
Oh, God.
It's false. This is very counterintuitive. So this is where a lot of other sales trainers get really bent out of shape with me.
Bummer.
But it's false with a disclaimer. Yes, if someone has access to credit, if there's a funding source, if there's any type of resource, then sure, somebody can come up with that kind of money. But when you're in a sales conversation and you're really guiding this person to make the decision that is best for themselves, and you can feel that palpable stress coming off of them, and they're two days away from eviction, and their car is getting repossessed, and they're sobbing on the phone. This is not a situation where I would encourage somebody to go figure out how to manifest the money. You can do it. You can go get it.
Yeah.
If your kids are dying, you'd figure that out, right? It doesn't create a setup down the road for a happy client. So it's false with the disclaimer.
Yeah. It's real false advertising.
All right.
All right. Okay, Catherine. Panelists, please raise your placards. Catherine, make your selection.
Well, I'm going to choose my own name and go with Catherine for number 4, please.
All right. Catherine, number 4. You or your solution is the hero of your story. The more you point out how great your solution is, the more people will buy it. Is this true or false?
I mean, right, it's just basic, right? It's a basic truth that, of course, it's your solution that you're selling, that you want people to buy. And so, of course, what you need to do is focus on, all the features and functions of your solution, because otherwise, what else are they buying? So yeah, absolutely. It's, basic, it's marketing 101. That's why in marketing advertising, the picture of the product is called the hero shot, because you need a really nice picture of it, right? And it's called the hero shot. And that's why, yeah, absolutely. It's the hero of the story.
All right, Catherine, do you agree or disagree?
Catherine, I find your argument compelling and very believable. Yet something tells me that it is false. There's something, it makes a lot of sense because that's what everyone does. But for some reason, I'm getting a hit that it needs to go beyond that. For true, real, like conscious sales, you need to help people understand how this will help them. They might not understand just by looking at the product and saying it can do this and this and this. Well, what can it do for me? How is it going to make my life better? Maybe I'm not making any sense. And you're a very good actress, so I'm still going to trust my gut and say that it's false.
Hey!
Oh man!
It's a circle. You win that one. Yeah, there was.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yay!
Nicely done. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Yeah. In fact, trying to talk about the features and functions of your product is the least effective way The hero really actually is your audience. And honoring, and basically your role is to be mentor, to guide them through their decision journey. So really the hero is your audience who is on a journey to try to figure out how to get from where they are stuck to where they want to be and what they're wanting and needing and yearning for. So that defines the, you know, the hero story, right? That's the arc of the hero. So yeah, absolutely. The more you rationally talk about your features and functions, the more you're just going to lose your audience. So nicely done. Nicely
Fascinating.
done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Judy.
Now, after 2 rounds of play, I believe the score is Catherine 2 and Erin 0. Is that correct, Jeff?
That is correct,
Unfortunately.
Judy.
All right, Erin, here we go. Let's get some points on the board, baby.
Okay.
Panelists, hold your hands up, please. And make your selection.
I'm gonna go with Chris for 1, please.
All right,
Yay.
Chris, number 1. You need money to be free enough to choose to do personally meaningful work.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that true?
Yeah. Everyone knows that, right? I mean, we learned since we were little. There were people who were independently wealthy or, you know, more fortunate that just had deep pockets and they could do whatever they wanted. But people who didn't have access to that, no, you know, it was to the salt mines, right? or a different version of it. But it's certainly commonly accepted that and commonly known that you've got to have money first. And then you can maybe find time to do bits of what matters to you.
All right, Erin, do you agree or disagree?
Well, I got burned by Jane's answer, which was a very similar question. So I'm kind of learning as I go here. I'm going to say that no, that's not true. I just don't believe that's true, as I kind of didn't believe it was true with Jane either. I think it makes it a lot easier if you have a ton of money to get started. But sometimes an idea is really just the first step, right? And then you do it in pieces in whatever way you can, and you work toward it. And eventually, hopefully, as long as you're not in that awful situation of Jane's character example, that you are able to eventually fund in pieces. So my instinct is to say, no, it's not true.
Okay.
Yes, you are correct. Yay!
Finally.
Yay! Yeah,
On the board. Here we go.
and that's a big one. I mean, the really interesting thing is, you know, the old saying that everything you need is within is really true. And so when we go within and find something that truly matters to us, something that really lights us up and energizes us, not only does it come with the energy and enthusiasm and, you know, the dream, the inspiration to make it happen, but it also connects us with everything we could possibly need in the physical world to make it happen. What we really need is to believe in ourselves and that the universe, you know, has our backs.
Awesome. Well, thank
Beautiful.
you, Judy.
All right, Catherine, it's your turn. Panelists, placards up, please.
I think I will go with Linda for number 3.
Right. Linda for number 3. Forcing yourself to do stuff you hate or are adverse to may be a sign that the task is out of alignment with your specific design. Is this true or false?
Well, you know, people use that excuse like, well, it doesn't feel good. So, you know, it must mean something. And that's just a sabotaging belief. So you really want to catch yourself and not necessarily buy into that if you want to be successful.
All right. Catherine, agree or disagree?
So just to clarify, you're saying that you do want to push through things
Yes.
that you do want to push through.
Yeah.
Again, all these panelists are so compelling. Clearly they're experts at marketing. And I don't know. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I want to say yes, but I'm going to say no.
Correct. You are correct. Do not push through. Do not pull yourself up by your bootstraps and make it happen and try harder if it doesn't work the first time. And too bad, suck it up, buttercup. Don't do that, because your inner guidance system, your inner design is guiding you to say, nope, not that. I know it worked for her, not going to work for me. So thank you for catching that one. Well done.
All right. Back to you,
Excellent.
Judy.
All right, Erin. Panelists, placards up, please.
That was number 2.
I am going to go with Catherine for number 6, please.
Ooh. Okay, Catherine, number 6. When it comes to persuading your audience to choose your solution over your competitions, using emotion in marketing is more effective than rational proof points. Is this true or false?
Yeah, this actually ties back to what Chris was saying earlier about emotional intelligence. One of the things that's absolutely true in science, neurology proves this over and over again, is we are not rational decision makers. We really make decisions based on our emotions, and that without exception. We do think that we're rational, but that actually only comes later. We rationalize our emotional choices, but really it's called the limbic brain. That's where the emotion happens, and that's really the center of all decision making is really around. That's oversimplifying it, obviously, but really it's emotion that really drives the decision. So creating authentic emotional connection with your audience is way more powerful. That builds that trust, like they know, like, and trust factor, right? That we all know we need to build. That's where it is. That's the heart of it, literally, right? That's the heart of successful, compelling content, is creating authentic emotional connection versus doesn't matter how engineering your audience is, they're still human. And they're still going to respond to an authentic emotional connection to what you're offering versus all of the rational facts you can throw at them won't work.
All right, Erin, do you agree or disagree?
I agree with that. Because you put your audience first. Your audience is the hero, basically. They're the one that you want to put first. So I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
And you are correct.
Yay.
Okay, Catherine, it is your turn. Panelists, placards up, please.
I think I'm going to choose Jane for number 6.
Jane and number 6. People who are good at selling are good at teaching others how to sell. Is this true or false?
What does everybody think?
People who are
I do know. I have an answer. It's no. So some of the best salespeople in the world have this innate ability to have a conversation where they can actually lead somebody else to clarity, and the other person gets excited, they get emotional. There is some logic in there, like we were talking about just a minute ago. But what you will often find is that some of the best salespeople are absolutely terrible at teaching other people how to become a better salesperson. And it's really just because they kind of have this magic sort of thing that they do. They don't know how they do it. They aren't able to explain it. They aren't able to articulate it. And so therefore they really don't even have a process and system that they could impart to somebody else. So they end up saying things like, show up in your power, and, make sure you're the leader, and be enthusiastic. Don't pick it up, just go for it. So.
Okay. So Catherine, do you agree or disagree?
I feel like a tortured soul in this game. I have these two parts and be like, yes, wait a minute, no, yes, no. So at first I was going to say, I was going to agree with you. But then you started talking about how these people who are good salespeople probably don't have any system, or I don't know, there was something, I'm going to go with my initial, which is, I think it's correct that the best I forgot the question, but the best, the people who, whatever you said, I think that the best salespeople aren't necessarily the best at teaching people how to sell. I'm just gonna say that I agree with what you said, which is that it's false.
Yes, go with
Yeah.
your gut. Yes, that is true. Yeah, there are some, and I know a lot of them. There's some really, really great salespeople, but when you sit with them and you say, well, if the prospect says this, how do I handle it? What do I say? What's your insight on this? And they truly go, well, I don't know. You just you show up and you make it fun. You just, be the leader, just stand in your power, just tell them it's all going to be okay. Just you be excited, don't be excited. And it's like, no. So they may have a subconscious process and system because they are making an emotional connection and they just connect, they're just naturally good at doing what they do, but they are oftentimes the worst sales trainers because they really can't get somebody else to understand what it is that they do.
Thank you. All right, Judy.
Okay, Erin, you're up. Let's get placards up, please.
All right. I'm going to go back to Linda and I'm going to choose number 1, please.
All right, Linda, number 1. If you do what the experts tell you to do, you'll be successful. Is this true or false?
This is false. Do not drink the Kool-Aid. Do not follow what they tell you. Do not buy another 5-step system that will be as successful for you as it is for the guru. Don't do it.
Do you agree or disagree, Erin?
I definitely agree. I don't even need to go into explanation. It's just,
Thank you, because we know it doesn't work.
That's why we're here.
Because I have a story of being on a stage with 130 people in the room and I followed my mentor's script to a T and I'm a perfectionist and I was valedictorian and all of that. And it flopped because that was not in accordance with my genetic design. Disaster. Don't do it. What you do instead is you take that expert advice, which is well-meaning and a lot of it is good, and you filter it through your own design and you keep what's going to work for you and you release the rest. Thank you. Yes.
Perfect.
Back to you, Judy.
All right, Catherine, here we go. Placards up and make your choice.
I think I'm going to go back to Catherine for number 2.
All right. Catherine, number 2. The more professional you sound, the more people will believe you and trust you. Is this true or false?
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, it's that know, like, and trust factor. So you really need to, basically, it's like the walking your talk. You need to talk, you need to use your jargon. I mean, in other words, you need to express and convey your expertise in order. That's just a whole part of how you, basically let folks know that you are in fact the expert that you are. Because if you don't know those words, you could just be anybody at the grocery store. But you need to, you do need to use your own, in a way that they understand, they need to understand it somehow, some kind of contextual way. But that expert jargon, the all of that supports your positioning as an expert.
Okay, Catherine, do you agree or disagree?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say when you first started talking about the more professional you are, I heard the word authentic. I feel like the more authentic you are, the more people will kind of connect with you. And I think sometimes jargon can be alienating and it can make people feel inadequate. Of course, you want to introduce and explain terms and things, but anyway, I'm going to say no way. No way.
Nicely done. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. In fact, there's all kinds of ways to convey your expertise without getting mugged down in your own jargon that they're not going to understand, your own inner speak about how you think about your own solution can be confusing to your audience because you're thinking in terms that they're not thinking. So again, the audience is the hero. It's that authentic human to human connection you want to create, and all of your jargon and fancy words just add to how much, in other words, we need to make it as easy for them to understand how you can help them get where they want to go and how you can help them get from stuck to unstuck. And you don't need to use any of your jargon and to prove your expertise in order to do that. So yeah, nicely done.
All right, Judy. I just wanted to give everybody a time check and say that we have one more selection for each of our contestants. And the score at the moment is Catherine with 5 and Erin with 3.
Ooh.
Okay,
All right, Judy.
so this will be our final round.
It is.
All right, Erin,
All right.
what will be your final selection?
Oh, my final selection is going to be Chris for number 4, please.
Chris for number 4. People will take advantage of your time, energy, and expertise unless you diligently protect yourself. Is this true or false?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you don't, what do they say? Give an inch and people take a mile, right? So you need to always be looking out for number 1 and watch out for all the people out there that will try to get something for nothing.
Okay, Erin, how do you feel? Do you agree or disagree?
I feel very unsure. I want to believe that people are better than that, but I know that's not true. But maybe there's a better way of protecting myself, but then that means I do protect myself. I want to say I agree. I'm hoping I'm not missing a subliminal message here. Okay, agree?
Yes. No, it's actually, and just to be clear, it can absolutely seem that way, right?
Yeah.
Because our belief systems seem to prove themselves true. And so if that's a belief that we have, which most of us have heard or maybe carried along, then yeah, it will seem that way. But when we're protecting ourselves from the people that we're trying to connect with and help, yeah, we end up actually keeping ourselves separated from achieving the very thing that we want to do. So.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, our last question, Judy.
Last question, Catherine. Make your final selection.
I'm going to go back to Christine for number 6.
Oh, okay.
All right, Chris, number 6. No matter how hard or smart you work to create a personally meaningful work life, luck still plays a huge part. Is that true or false?
Well, it does if you believe in luck. Certainly. So no, I'm going to say that's actually false.
Okay, Catherine, how do you feel about that? Do you agree or disagree?
No matter how hard you work to create something like personally meaningful work.
No matter how hard or smart you work to create a personally meaningful work life, luck still plays a huge part.
And Chris said false.
Correct.
I think I'm going to agree with her. I'm going to agree that it's false.
Yay. Yeah, you got it right. It is false. Yeah, I mean, false is luck is that thing that everybody points to when they don't understand the role of how life works, when they don't understand, the role of their own of following their own inspiration, working with their own design, of connecting with their audiences in an authentic way, right? Of showing up as they really are. We don't know why it worked for somebody else and doesn't work for us. We point to luck. Luck's just we don't know. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so at the end of a very intense game, the final score is 6 for Catherine and 3 for Erin. So Catherine is our winner.
How much fun was that? I hope you had just as much fun watching and playing along as we did in person. And if you'd like to be part of this in the future, please click the button below and you'll get updates about what's going on at Masterful U every month.